All right, there we go. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Wastegate Wednesday. I'm your host, Sean Urban, and we're going to get into the nitty-gritty from Las Vegas this weekend. There was a lot of multi-groove racing. Once again, the next-gen car has proven to impress its stats, and the orientation for this weekend was mostly focused on drama, not just on the track. Well, mostly on the track, but a little bit of off-track and some kind of parodies that we're seeing from last season with 2021. So qualifying drama, Kyle Busch slams the wall going down the back straightaway. He had to move to a backup car. Even through the backup car, he was up front relatively most of the day. There's a lot of wrecks. Chase Briscoe gets behind the dirty air. Michael McDowell coming down the front stretch and ends up getting loose and smacking Daniel Suarez as he hits the wall and ending Suarez's day. I believe they came to a resolution pretty quickly. They both knew it was an accident. It was just racing, but once again, I believe for the fourth year in a row, Alex Bowman has scored at least one win for Team Hendrick and one stage one for Las Vegas, with another parallel where he won the first stage of a race and then ended up winning the race later on, but it wasn't in dominating fashion like all club. And Alex Bowman's the main focus of this episode today. Other than that, Daniel Hemrick will be sitting out for a few races to allow AJ Allmendinger to grab a few races. He'll be racing at Phoenix next weekend, and a lot of the drama for them this weekend has been oriented with Alex Bowman. So for those of you who are new or don't know, Alex Bowman is a NASCAR driver in the Cup Series who has been racing since 2014. In 2017, he filled in for Dale Earnhardt Jr. and he showed shades of brilliance when he was driving Earnhardt's car when he was injured and had a concussion. And when he found out that if he took not found out rather, but when Junior came back, he took a leave. He took a sabbatical for 2017. Then 2018, they tapped in the drive the 88, which was Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s car, and at least once a year he has won at least one races. Chicagoland, where he dueled Kyle Larson for the win in 2019, an outright dominating performance in 2020 before the pandemic, leading 110 out of 200 laps. A win at Richmond, a 98 lap domination at Richmond in 2021 as well, and some two lucky wins where coming out of turn 3 on Pocono, Kyle Larson's blew a tire and smacked the wall, giving Bowman the lead and win. And Alex Bowman kind of chucking Denny Hamlin out of the way at Martinsville. And that's where I'm going to get to in a second, where Joe Gibbs kind of has a little bit of beef with Alex Bowman. So in the final few laps of the Las Vegas race, Eric Jones, and it was Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Busch battling for the lead up front. It was a little bit of dirty air, but that's just Vegas. It's a desert, and there was huge winds blowing in from the east. And Eric Jones blew a tire, smacked the wall coming down the front stretch, and then he seemed like he was gonna get it like down the apron and back to pit row, but then Bubba Wallace, as he dodged him, spun and smacked the inside wall coming into turn number 1. And so after that, the lead changed. There's a bunch of lead changes, but Alex Bowman and Kyle Larson lined up on the front row after Alex Bowman had kind of clawed his way a little bit to the front for a few laps. And yeah, the pair duel, Larson got the lead on the final lap, but Alex Bowman managed to get up and side drafted him down the backstretch and pulled ahead of Larson down to the apron on the front stretch to win the race. And on the radio comments, Kyle Busch kind of showed his displeasure, similar to Denny Hamlin, with Kyle Busch saying that Alex Bowman, it was rather explicit, so I can't say exactly what it was, but the moral was that Alex Bowman backs his way or lucks his way into every single win in the Cup Series. And and similar to where Denny Hamlin was saying that he was a hack as in he blew it. And it kind of seems like Bowman doesn't really seem to care. And it's kind of where it's like the whole blocking out the haters movement kind of thing, where Alex Bowman tends to, a trend that we started last year was that he began selling t-shirts saying how he was a hack and how I have a few images of the t-shirts to show you guys. So let me just pull those up real quick. His t-shirt. Um, Hang tight, guys. I'm just looking for this. Yeah, here it is. The t-shirts. Alex Bowman. A little bit blurry, but Alex Bowman, all luck, no skill, and he seems to be really marketing off the drama that happens. I think that's the best way to send a message that, hey, I belong in the Cup Series, but there's a lot of controversy after that we're surrounding. Does Alex Bowman deserve to see the Cup Series? And personally, yeah, I think he does because he's proven his worth and his skill and talent in the Hendrick car, but he can go out and leave long laps and dominate stints of races to where he can get a win and lock himself into the playoffs. You could see it at all. Just look up the Auto Club 400, 110 laps out of 200 led. Look up Dover in 2021, the Dryden 400, where he led 98 out of 400 laps. Alex Bowman's kind of coming into where every Hendrick driver is very good. For example, I mean, Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson are champions. Is William Byron, he has 2 wins. He's younger than Bowman, but they've been racing for the same time in the Cup Series. He has 2 now. Byron has 2 wins in the Cup Series, and he won the 2017 Xfinity Series Championship. And Alex Bowman won a few races during his Cup Series sabbatical. And overall, I think that Alex Bowman has really begun to make himself at home in the Cup Series. He came in with 0 sponsorship. He kind of had to latch on to junior sponsorship, and now he practically has ally begging Hendrick Motorsport, saying we'll increase our like sponsorship role. We'll give money just to keep Alex Bowman in the seat. And seeing how Bowman originally was going to go into 48, and it was really uncertain whether Alex Bowman or Kyle Larson. It was already pretty much known. I think it was one of the worst kept secrets in 2020 that Kyle Larson would be tapped to drive for Hendrick Motorsports. They just didn't know whether he was going in the 48 or some kind of number, but the tap Kyle Larson, the 5, and the rest is history. And yeah, I mean, it is pretty much the rest of history. And other than that, I think with the next gen car too, a lot of fans from Vegas are saying, bring back the fall Charlotte race, bring back the Indianapolis Oval. And I think, yeah, this car is great, but everybody needs to slow down a little bit with the next gen car because what I'm saying is that they need to lower their expectations with it, because I've seen like the first 3 races, this car is amazing. It's put on some good moments, good showings, and it's a lot better racing from the Gen 6 car, but it's still the first 3 races. We're not even a quarter of the way, a third of the way into the season, and we have people saying that this car is like, oh, it's the next new thing. Like we're gonna use this constant. We're gonna use the same format every now and then, but I think it's a little early to decide how this car is gonna race, and it just needs some time. It's done great so far. I'm sure it's gonna do great the rest of the season, but for now, I'm just taking it a race at a time with this. So yeah, Phoenix is up next weekend, and I'll be back with you guys next weekend with news from Phoenix. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, next weekend we won't have a fast lane, or not fast lane, sorry. We won't have another show because it's spring break, but I'm sure I'll have notes compiled from Phoenix and Atlanta as well for that. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you're a student watching here, have a good spring break, and I'll see you guys in a few weeks. Take care.